So did you like that? Because you didn't watch it last week.
I did not. That was a great intro. Somebody else commented on what a great intro that is. That's awesome.
I know. If I had only done that when we first, started it.
There's always next year. This will be awesome next year if we're still doing it.
I think it was cool to break it up.
Yep.
I mean, it's just definitely different. I mean, we had all the memories from the last couple years that come flooding into Facebook. And right now it feels like Facebook memories is just event. And, it really makes me miss, when I see everyone holding the actual poster boards that they made.
Right.
I mean, it's just totally different. I miss being around everybody. I mean, that part I definitely miss. But being able to do it via an app or on Canva, PowerPoint, like doing it virtually like this, it's just different. But I'm not hating it.
No, I'm not either. And so then, it's going to come down to how we feel next year. But I am almost like we could do this and we can do an in-person one.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's cool to break it up into 4 different weeks. I mean, it's different, but I liked, that we were able to open it up.
Yep.
And we have 70, agents that had signed up from all over the world, which that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's the super exciting part. I feel like I love engaging with the other people and kind of, even though it's through chat, hearing what they're doing. And I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. So thank you everyone who's been joining us. It's our last week and I'll share this. So the homework, let me hide this thing. The online profiles, which I don't know if you're in the private group, because I think we have just over half of those that have signed up actually in the private group with the discussions. If you did the brand yourself, to get the rating, you'll see if you have other people matching your names. I think anybody who's ever done any of my online classes that we've done or anything always knows that my biggest thing is I do have another Heather Holiday that I have to compete with. When I went to Google Academy like years ago, I allowed them to let me be the guinea pig because I have a problem. Because if you Google Heather Holiday, all you see are all of, this lady in swallowing swords. And all you see are all of the social handles and it says @HeatherSwallows. So that is my big thing. And they gave me a bunch of tips. I went through the brand yourself. I did the paid version. This was years and years ago. I finally started to creep up based on doing everything that they recommended. Then I finally got the first page because that Heather Holiday was, in Coney Island. She was whatever freak show thing they had going on. Hurricane Sandy came and did some damage up there. I finally got on the first page and then she became international. I believe she was on MTV for a while, like as a guest, and forget it. She's an international superstar. My father and stepmom in Germany sent me an article of her doing a show over there. I'm doomed. Forget it. Never going to get that first
right?
So I know when we did our class at the board and we do everything, I mean, it was always like, can you beat my issues? It's a football player or basketball or, mountain climber. And it's like, I don't know, someone
right.
Like, this is who you're recommending to me @HeatherSwallows. Seriously. So, just being able to see where you're at. I love the brand yourself and I love the free version. It's been a while since I've gone on there.
Me too. Me too. Yeah.
It's crazy how many sites that have all your information. Like when I was licensed, I mean, I'm up here in Tennessee, and it showed me all these my neighbors. Like,
Yep.
I know that street. Like, I don't know much about streets up here because I don't ever leave, my office here. But I was blown away at how many sites there are like that Spokio that give all like everything. I mean,
Right.
it's almost kind of scary. So if
So
you didn't do that, definitely
yeah,
just
if you didn't do the homework, you should really, really do it. I recently did the Katie Lance 30-day challenge, and LinkedIn was the first week. I think we did LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and then kind of recap. But if you haven't Googled yourself or you didn't do the homework, do it. Honestly, you won't be sorry, because it's, you if you're not always checking in to see what's out there, you don't know, and you don't know what the general public is. And I always say to people, if you haven't already and you want to learn more about me, Google me, and if it's,
well, you can say that. I
yes,
would
I
never say
can.
that.
I can. So do you want to do the drawing for the three people
Yes,
who did the
yes.
homework? Who did the homework this week, Heather?
We had a few people do it. Not as
Okay.
many that should. So you're only cheating yourself if you're not doing the homework. The homework is really meant to be fun. That's why we do the gift cards, because really it's all about your business.
Exactly. Okay. So I've got the names in here, and the winner for a $25
Amazon gift card.
Amazon gift card is Angela Lawless.
Great job. So thank you for doing that. But make sure it's something that you should be doing at minimum once a year, is just going to your profiles, making sure that, whether your website, your other social handles, your phone number. I personally use like the Google Voice number. I mean, it really depends. Your number is out there. If you Google yourself, you're going to find yourself out there. If you're with RE/MAX, your RE/MAX profile is always going to display. Don't be a secret agent. I am always looking for agents, for referrals. And if I have to do a ton of work to try to find that information, I'm just going to the next agent, because you have to make it easy on the consumer. We all want that instant fix, and I shouldn't have to do my research to try to go and find your information, to be able to call you, text you, email you, find your website.
Exactly. Exactly. And I think we talked about this last week or maybe the week before. When you get a friend request, and it's somebody that you absolutely don't know, and you're looking. I don't just accept anyone anymore. I used to, but when somebody's requesting you, and then you see that they have like 122 friends the same as you, and you're looking at who the friends are, and you're like, they must be in real estate. Then I go to their page, and sometimes a lot of their stuff is private, but then it's like, well, what do they do for a living? Oh, this is a person who does whatever it is, just power washing. It's something really obscure. And then I'm like, do I need another friend that does that? Or sometimes it'll be some creepy guy in some other state that has no.
Yeah, I don't know how people find some of these, and also think of when you're joining groups and stuff. I mean, that's my biggest pet peeve. I think it's all of our admins. The biggest pet peeve is, we get a lot of like backlash for, especially like the RE/MAX creative group, where we get about 100 to 150 requests every single week. And then friends are, sending us messages, like, I requested 2 days ago and I'm still not accepted. It's like, well, did you answer the questions? Do you have anything about RE/MAX in your profile? Because that's what, if you're not answering the questions, you're a secret agent. I have to take the time, we all do, to actually go and vet you to make sure that you're, with the RE/MAX. Yeah, you're going to sit there.
Well, and so here's the power of social media. I do a lot on Facebook. I don't do any paid ads. I have a lot of people that I went to high school with. I haven't spoken to them in 35 years. I can't believe I just admitted that it's 35 years.
What were you, like a toddler?
I graduated high school at 5.
Okay. That makes sense.
And I got a private message through Facebook Messenger on Thursday. Hey, Kerry, it's so and so. I'm here because my dad passed away and we're trying to figure out what to do at the house. And my husband, while he was out and about, stopped at another brokerage and somebody came into our house and we just didn't get a good feeling. And then the light bulb went off in my head. Oh my gosh, Kerry sells real estate. I know she'll be honest with us. Let me call her.
No,
And
I mean,
we
that
are.
happens all the time. I mean,
Yeah.
even I've been licensed since 05, 06, never really sold real estate. Like ever, like totally, I just got it for education, blah, blah, blah. But all the referrals all day long. And I had my sister's friend, hadn't seen her in 5 years. We helped, with some surprise birthday party. But, she had just had a baby, was pregnant. So they decided they needed a bigger house. So they had to buy a new house. They're selling their house. And now because they're having 2 babies, like the mother and father decided they're moving to town. So that's 3 transactions. So they reached out, she reached out to me. I knew a perfect fit with an agent in the office. Mm-hmm. So I, connected the 2 together. And when I mentioned the name, the agent, her mouth just dropped. And I was like, oh, like, her. Like, I don't know if that's good or bad. And she's like, yeah, that's my kid's guidance counselor. And I just spent a week at school for career week. So she knows real estate. I haven't seen her in 5 years.
Wow.
I don't ever post just listed, just sold because I haven't sold real estate since 2006. Right. But because of brand placement,
yep,
she still associates me with real estate, and the balloon came to me, 3 referrals. And
wow, see, so that's, make sure you're engaged, make sure, again, if you didn't do the homework, get your homework done. I mean,
yes, because you're only feeding yourself. We don't really care.
These are free leads. I mean, these are free leads, people. They are free. And the house that I'm talking about, I mean, this is a $700,000 house in Indialantic, I mean, so anyway, let's
do everything together.
Right. So now that we've figured out how much money we want to make, we've figured out how many transactions we need to do, we've cleaned up our social media. Now we need to decide what we're going to do consistently in 2021 to get us to our goal. And like I always say, I always start with the things that I like and that work for me. There are things that you might like, but they're not working for you. Don't keep doing those things. So
you have to give everything a shot.
True.
I try to say at least 6 months and really putting effort into it. Not just, like I'm going to try online leads. I'm going to put this X amount of dollars into pay-per-click campaigns. But if you don't actually have a follow-up plan for online lead gen, it is not going to work. So, I mean, you have to think about that. And we put a bunch of ideas, but it's all about what are you going to do consistently. And, on an agent level, I know I do this every single year we do this for the company.
Yep.
So what are we going to, what am I going to add into the company's business plan, whether it be online lead gen. I mean, these community events, we're huge with community events. I know we do a ton for like the local community. We do a ton for Children's Miracle Network, but we also help the agents because all the agents have different passions. Yep. So we work with the agents like, yes, we'll match, up to X amount of dollars. And we'll, we've got all the swag that, they can get their own. We have it for them. So you're working with the schools and the teachers, let us know how many, koozies or stress balls you want. So on a company level, but also on an agent level, what do you want to add? I would say add 10. And I love that pillars. I don't know if that's a Tom Ferry thing from Sales Power, but you have pillars to your business. Consistent. What are the 10 things? They say
that you're going to consistently do, because we need to work on programming that out. And it's funny because I was telling somebody the other day, I have never been good at open houses. And it's probably because I don't like them. And so that's not one of my 10 things. Now, do I do them, and will I do them for sellers? Of course I will. But that's not one of the things I plan to do consistently because I'm not good at it and I don't love it. But you want to be consistent. And here's the other thing, because there's some things here that everybody's doing. FSBO, expired. An expired comes in Brevard County, and that seller is getting at minimum 20 note cards in their mailbox at minimum. There's probably 3 or 4 that are going to knock on the actual door. So what is it that you are doing that's different to win the business? So don't just do it, but do it with a twist. Do it with what's going to make you different, what's going to catch their eye, so that they choose you to work with you.
And maybe in the comments, put in what do you do that works well for you?
Mm-hmm.
I think community events helps us with just the all-around presence on an office level. I know agents that are consistently doing every single year different community events. I know Barbara, you guys do. I'm thinking of Dorothy. I'm No Place Like Home, and I just had a
brain fart. Yeah.
Yes. But I mean, you do this every single year. I mean, you've been doing it for many years. So it's almost, you're just always there. So I think, find something you're passionate about. Same with clubs and committees, note cards. I know we just talked about this. I mean, go to Amazon. I think I paid like $25. I have every single possible thing that you could think of. So you see something in somebody's newsfeed, and I use social media. Let it work for you.
Yep.
It's not a matter of, stalking anybody, but really you see things going on in people's lives all the time.
Right.
It's a perfect opportunity to send a note card. Like, we only get junk mail anymore. Like, even our bills are basically online. So to get an actual note card, handwritten, not salesy, to me, I think that's can be a game changer for people. Volunteer. Okay, yes. So family promise of
Yeah.
Her name was showed up earlier. Where'd she go?
I know. I think she switched Facebook groups. So I think the first time it showed up, she was or maybe there's just a glitch, because her first comment wasn't in our was, I think, in the event group, and then.
Oh, that's so weird. So I wonder if you have to get permission, and that doesn't make sense. It's like
that doesn't make sense. Easier.
Yeah, doesn't make sense. But we know who you are. So yes, family promise of Brevard.
Yeah, and you know what's not on this list, and that's another thing that Barbara and her team do every year is client appreciation party. That's an easy one to add to your list because you only have to do it once a year.
Yeah, I mean, they've been doing that forever, since it was all the pink themed. Whatever.
Think pink.
Yeah, I remember that.
I know. Okay.
And they do movies. I mean, I know Steve used to do the berm over at the stadium when we had all the baseball games. That was pretty cool, a fun outing. You've got the zoo that you could do different events. I think those are really incredible. So yeah, we should definitely add that. But just think of what are 10 things you're going to do consistently. And I guess I would think client appreciation party as it being only once a year.
Yeah, that's not one of your 10 things. See, that's me looking for the easy way out. That's one of your 10.
That's not an easy way out. I mean, that's
why it's a lot of work.
$125. I don't like to party plan.
Right. It's a lot of work for sure. So now knowing what we know now of everything that we've learned, what things will you do more of? What are you going to do less of? What are you going to start doing? And what are you going to stop doing? Stop doing time-wasting, non-money making activities.
Easier said than done.
I know.
Other than that whole balance, family, that's totally different.
Right.
Right. Is the balance, because my wheel is always way off, because, some people have hobbies, but my hobby is work.
Right. Me too.
So that is always a yearly struggle. So, it's nice when I'm up here, because last week just, oh, let's go for a drive. And then, oh, we'll just turn this way and go into Gatlinburg. And, oh, they have a vacancy. Let's just stay the night. And I'm like, I don't have a toothbrush. But it was, I don't know. Like, I don't know that we've ever done that. So we've never been in Gatlinburg at night. So it's like, oh, let's just do it.
That's fun. That's awesome. So think about, really dig deep, you don't have to do it now, but when we're done, think about what you're going to do more of, what you're going to do less of, what you're going to start doing. And I'll say this is my consistent thing. I'm going to start working out and I'm liking it.
Time than Ellis. So
5:30 in the morning is just not for me. So that was funny. That's how Mark Lindo ended up doing that post that he did in our group about getting together. We were on the phone the other day and he said, well, maybe I can help, since you help me so much, maybe I can help you. Maybe we can get a group together in the mornings to do this. It doesn't look like there's any takers, however, so. So now we really need to hone in on what our day, what our week, what our month, what our year is going to look like. So what does your day look like? And, as we get a little bit further into this, we have, daily schedules that are really kind of regimented. But if that's too much for you, just something basic like this. Set up your morning routine, whatever that is. If it's exercising, get up and exercise. Get into that positive mindset in the morning. Try and get to the office. Even if the office is in your house, get to your desk, your office, the same time every day. It's funny. So many of you probably know I got this puppy. And she now wakes up at 5:30 every day. That's when her alarm clock goes off in her body. I try to get her to sleep later, and I'm going to really hate it next weekend when the times fall back, right? So, because if she wakes up at 5:30, she could be waking up at 4:30. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but try and get up at the same time every day. Try and get to the office at the same time every day. Melissa says no, she's not going to do 5:30, but she'll be doing 10 minutes of old lady strength training every day. And Melissa and I have started doing green smoothies. So Melissa, they're in the freezer in the there's a bag in the bottom compartment. So we're trying to have a healthy lunch or a grab and go lunch if we have to, and it'll be a green smoothie.
And I get up at the same time every day. I wish I could do the whole exercise thing, but really at 5:30, I don't know, I sleep marketing. So when I wake up at 5:30,
your brain's going and you want to start.
My brain is going, and that's my power time. And I can get so much done between 5:30 and 9. There's zero interruptions. Everybody's sleeping.
Right.
So I feel like I almost, I get 4 hours of work done first thing in the morning. And the rest of the day is just, the emails, the calls, the text, the whatever. But I get a solid 4 hours of work, and that's fine for me. I mean, that totally works. So I can't really do the gym at 5:30 because I would just be thinking of work. Because I just sit at my desk, drink my coffee, and I'm just going to town, all excited.
Find what works for you. If that's what works for you, then do that. So then what's your business morning routine? Are you doing I have a tickle in my throat, 5542 that we covered 2 weeks ago? Are you managing your business, answering emails, doing your transactions, doing lead generation, doing your marketing? I used to share the office I sit in right now. When we first moved to this building, I sat in this office with Linda Farahi and her team. And then after that, I sat in this office with Joy Frankel and her team. And now I sit in here alone. But they both had the same routine. They would get to the office somewhere between 8:30 and 9, and they would do kind of all on their computer, lead generation, checking with people. And then if they had appointments, they always had their appointments in the afternoon. There's exceptions to that. Sometimes you have to do an appointment in the morning or at night or on the weekend, but make a schedule, have a plan, and stick to it as best as you can. So what does your optimal week look like to you? And schedule this in. Obviously Sunday is not going to be the same as Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. How much work are you doing on Sunday? Are you just leaving some time open for in case you need to do work? Or do you consistently do open houses on Sunday, so you're always going to block out almost from 12 to 4, almost from 10 till 4, because you got to prep for the open house. So this is a great template for you to kind of sketch out how you think, how do I say,
Well, I mean, for me, like this
your
6
week
to
should
8
look.
is basically time blocked for, getting my stuff done. My 4 to 6 is time blocked for family, dinner, all that kind of stuff. That's pretty consistent for me. Do you have the right book? Are you on the
I
wrong
do.
book?
That's what I was looking for, because
You look so
Melissa's
lost.
asking, and I was panicking. Like, wait a minute, did we talk about 5542 already,
No,
or was
it's
that
coming
because
up.
you and I have talked about it so much?
Right.
Okay, so next page, another good template. So if you want to just copy this and use it over and over and over again, 5 calls, texts with past clients or your center of influence every day. 5 new conversations with new context every day. Then 4 lead follow-up conversations. So that's probably someone you gained from the previous 10 contacts you're making. Now you're going to do lead follow-up with people that you've talked to in the past, that are on the fence about selling, that may be selling in 6 months, because you don't want to call those people every week, but you don't want to lose them ever. And then 2 social posts, and in that try to do videos. Maybe do 1 video a week, and then social posts. So
Okay, and this 5, which it used to be the 555.
5, correct.
I mean, this is something when anybody starts business planning or meeting or coaching or anything. I mean, this is right here is not the number one. Like,
Right.
You need to implement this into your business every single weekday. And
Right.
whether you have a binder or whatnot, put the date at the top, you have the notes, your CRM, you should, whatever it is that you're doing on here, you need to add them. I don't care if it's an Excel spreadsheet or your CRM, put that into the notes, add a task. You can do all of that within Booge, within your clients, add tasks for every single person. I mean, it's taking it all the way back to the basics. So if you're looking to grow your business, number 1, this 5542 will be a complete game changer to add this to your daily, weekly routine. I mean, it just takes it all the way back to the basics for sure.
Right. So put this on your calendar, put this on your calendar for every day. And you don't have to do it 7 days a week, but you should.
I would just say 5 days a week.
5 days a week. Yep.
I mean, if there's anything you get out of all this 4-week, it's this page, add it to your business, and let us know that how it becomes a game changer. And that should be on your daily, every single weekday.
Yep.
You need to do this. And it's all these conversations. It's part of, what we just worked on, I believe, last week. And how many conversations do you need to reach that goal? So if you need to make this 10 calls, based on what your numbers are. I mean, this is just the generic, but it's a starter. It's very doable. I mean,
and when I was doing coaching, when I first started coaching in 2011, it was different then. It was 555, but I had that sheet, and I would print out 5 copies on Monday morning, and it would sit on my desk, and then I would just mark it off as I did it, and then Tuesday morning, mark it off as I did it. Or sometimes I would mark it off that night, because some of this happens organically.
Yes.
Whether you're trying or not trying, you're at the grocery store, again, someone messages you to ask a question, you pick up the phone and you call them, but just make sure you're consistent. Whatever it is you're doing, consistency is the key.
Yes, for sure.
So then, Heather, as we're looking at marketing, what are your strategies? What are your strategies in these 6 categories?
I mean, you
So,
have, your whether you're prospecting, the networking, advertising, like pay-per-clicks, hosting, as far as like the client appreciation parties, that's kind of where this would go.
right.
Are you making videos? Like it's so, I mean, when somebody's looking to get in video, I mean, my baby steps is you don't have to be in front of that video. Maybe you're just taking photos of the area and talking. Start
Yep.
simple, because
Yep.
we can sew them together. We can repurpose them. They become like evergreen content that you can use social. We can dress them up. Once you get comfortable, yes, get in there. And, whether you're in front of a green screen, and gosh, we have 2 offices that have green screen setups. I mean, I'm not a big like green screen because that's like a whole other level of editing. Like just get in front of the camera and start talking.
Right. Right.
But even if you're not in front of the camera, be in the background, talk about what you're filming, whether you're at the beach, at different landmarks, do little, clips, because you can sew them together and add text and talk over, do the audio. Just basically there's like audio note, whatever, you just start recording yourself, or if you're in the audio talking, because you can always add to that. I mean,
Right.
it's evergreen. It can go on your YouTube, which, my goodness, like the search engine, but it's just baby steps. Like just do it. And just remember, it's progress, not perfection. And it's baby steps. The more you do it, the more comfortable you're going to get. So think of all the different marketing. Technology is always changing and evolving. And let's see, what do we have here? Like joining PTA, just different groups that.
That, I will tell you, that has also been another one of those things. I think it's been really good for you. It's been really good for me. I always tend to put too much on my plate. I was overly involved when my children did sports. I was always trying to be the team mom. And what that means is I get to send an email to all the team members with my Remax Elite information in it. Or you guys all know I was very involved in Boy Scouts. I get to send many, many emails with all of my Remax Elite information. It's a subtle way of reminding people who you are and what you do.
No, absolutely. And it's finding people that you have stuff in common with. So it's almost like finding your tribe.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have? You have kids the same age, they're into the same things. It's that common. You have that rapport. It's finding people that are like your tribe, and that's where all of this kind of comes in. Let's see, prospecting, cold calling. I will send a video all day long.
Circle prospecting. Whether you're doing postcards or mailing, door knocking. I thought of some other things down on the hosting, because it's not just a client appreciation party. Sometimes it's just
your open houses, your different things,
or taking people out for lunch, or starting a coffee group. Maybe you start a book group with a bunch of moms, and now just make sure you're the only real estate mom in the group, or whatever it is. It doesn't have to be moms. I don't know why I said moms, but it doesn't have to be moms. Start a book group, and it's just a reminder of who you are and who's in your circle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So there's lots of different things, and you can grab from the other page where we have the pillars to your business, just to this just kind of breaks it up into different categories.
Right. Exactly. So
and this is one of my favorites. This is quarterly, and I can say this year has been insane. And this is the sheet that I go back to, that I immediately in March, when I had no idea what was going to happen, I look at how I've broken things down. Mm-hmm. And when everything kind of stopped, what do I have on my list that I can physically actually do on here? So obviously, like the live, like in-person classes, couldn't really do. But on here were a ton of videos trying to add content to our e-learning library. Mm-hmm. So my green screen was down in Florida. So I went to Amazon, get that baby ordered, and I just started knocking out video after video, because that was in, all of every month I had different content that I wanted to be able to do learning videos on to add. I was able to knock all those out. Now, granted, we started getting super busy, which is great, but I had done all of this stuff that because it took place over what? So obviously life changes. We learned that super quickly this year.
Right.
Just like that. But this and the quarterly, breaking it down, that was the first thing that we were able to tell people to do is go back to that, breaking it down to the quarterly and monthly. What can you be doing that was on your business plan? What can you be working on right now?
Right. Right. Because nothing is static. It does not have to stay the same. It can change. Even though we're telling you, try and wake up every day the same time, try and get to the office the same time. Those will help you be consistent in your business, but life is always throwing us curveballs. So if you have all this in writing, written down, planned, you can refer back to it and adjust and make changes as you need to make changes.
And I also like being able to cross it off. So I do like being able
done.
And then I know we use like Asana, so you can check, like click a box and it marks it for you. It's just not the same when I have everything on here and I can physically take something and just cross it off. And there's just such a crazy accomplishment feeling when you can do that.
Exactly. So really that's brings us to, we've included an example schedule. This is just an example schedule of what you might want to plan for your week as you really just get it honed down and you break everything down and decide what you want to do. That
crazy color coding little schedule thing there.
I know. That which gets scheduled gets done. That which gets scheduled gets done. Remember that.
Yeah, I put everything in my Google Calendar, time block. It's a little different for me because I can time block and, really I use the Calendly for, anybody to be able to schedule with me. But yes, I love crossing off my list.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't know what that is. It's that physical.
No, it just feels like it's anticlimactic when it's on your phone, to be honest with you. It just is. So when it's just that, that you have it in front of your face and you did it with your pen and it's permanent. It feels permanent that way, done for sure.
Yeah. I don't know. There's just something about that, but I do know that the monthly, and we used to have a quarterly, and I personally like the quarterly is here's what I'm looking to kind of get done and then try to break it up into month. And then you could even do weekly, but really the quarterly and monthly were always big for me. And especially, every year, but especially this year, because I could easily just go and look back. What can I do right now? Everything is closed. Yep. And a lot of that was a video, on an office level, we always have all these goals and that, the Max Elite University has been a huge part of that. I was able to get so many training videos done, just knock them up. I had, my office, I have different shirts. So I would just change my shirt, do another video, do another video.
Right.
And that became really big. And then it got me comfortable doing so many mass videos, just clicking that record and that progress and that perfection, which led us into finally getting, our Monday morning show off.
Yep.
After
exactly.
2 years of it being so.
And Heather knows every Monday morning I get on the camera. We usually get on the camera together like 10 minutes early. And every Monday morning I'm like, oh my God, I'm a wreck. Where's my hairbrush? I need some lipstick. 6 months ago, I wouldn't have even gotten on the camera. Now I'm like, it's a little panic moment, but it is what it is. You have to do it. Just do it. Just do it.
Right. Progress, not perfection. That was a huge quote in my office because it was like trying to hit that record was like, I can do it. And then I did like 2 minutes of this awkward smile before it was horrible. But, it's on that list and I still can't watch myself on any of these yet. Ever.
I watched this the other day. I thought we were pretty good.
fun and we play off each other really well, but oh my gosh, I can't believe this is
well, that we're at the end. We're at the end. So I can't wait to see what we do next year because that will be our progress. We will be so much better at this then, you know?
yes. Beast
Yeah.
mode. I saw that somewhere and I was like, oh, I love that. That was kind of cool. But I mean, really, it's all about putting this plan together, you know, making sure, I mean, if you didn't get it printed, make sure to get it printed, binded, Office Depot, we'll send it out. You know, I mean, I appreciate everyone for signing up and for joining us for the last 4 weeks. This has been an adventure all in itself. I had a lot of fun. I think we learned a lot and maybe, you know, what we could change or, you know, whatnot. We learned as we go. So I thank everyone for joining us for this ride because it's been fun.
It has indeed. It has indeed. I really like this. So, but if you know, if you can't wait till next year, we do go live every Monday morning at 9:30. We teach something different or different ideas. Sometimes we repeat some of the same old ideas, but it's a reminder. Or look at our library, right? You have it all on Elite
Yeah,
U,
everything's in this
right?
group.
Elite
We've
U.
got it on Elite U. I'll be putting the business planning kind of separately than where all of our other videos are. But I think that's it. So
Yeah.
we're done.
Thanks
And that
so
just feels weird, but we hope everyone enjoyed themselves. Make sure to do that business plan just for
And
yourself.
yep. And always, if you have questions or issues or comments or forgot something or what it means, Heather and I are always a text away or a phone call or an email, however you want to communicate.
Yes, always. So I think that's it. So until
Yeah.
next week, we'll go back to our regular Monday morning wake up call or whatever we call that, the Monday morning show. But until then, wake up, kick ass, and repeat. And we'll see you next week. Thank you, guys.
Bye, everyone.